Well, this is a furthermore on the be gentle, be kind. I think I'm going to call this one be patient. Because you sometimes need to be. I think it just made me think of a little anecdote of someone that I had a row with when I was in my car, and I knew she had a personality disorder, and she went fucking mental. Sorry, psycho. Sorry, nuts. Sorry. Why can't I describe someone getting angry without making a mental health reference? But with me being me, Mr. Hypersensitive and fucking hyperreactive, because I knew about it, I just recognised it. I felt it, and I just went, this is not that it's not real. It was like, this is now gonna fucking happen. Just let it fucking happen. Let her fucking explode, basically. Just let her fucking explode. And she said some fucking horrible, nasty fucking shit, which I would normally respond to or take on board. But for some reason, I just went, not for some reason. And it didn't take that much effort. That's the point. It didn't take that much effort to just recognise that this was something she wasn't in control of. And maybe I was recognising it because it was one of my big eight that I got, that I talked about in the graph. But the point was, I didn't revisit it with her. I didn't keep going back to it and telling her this and telling and insisting on myself and all that shit. And the fact was, she had a point anyway. She had a point anyway. So despite the fact it was pushing all my buttons of fucking letting someone walk all over me, I conceded. I just gently conceded and I stayed calm. I basically let her be her. I gave her the space to be herself. That's the example of the phrase that I was talking about in the previous video that popped into my head. And everything was fine. I just was gentle. I just started talking to her sort of normally without going back to it. Because I know how she would have felt. She would have felt embarrassed about kicking off so much and da 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 da. Because I know what it's like. So I just didn't keep going on about it. It's just giving people that bit of fucking space. And, she was fine 5 minutes fucking later, she was fine. There was another time somebody had, she'd upset someone, or thought she'd upset someone, and I was there. And I knew she had a personality disorder. I remember talking to her and asking, how can I help you if shit happens? How can I help you? What can I physically do? And she went, do you know what? Do you remember that time? And she referred back to this time that I'm going to talk about. She said, it was your repetition. You just kept repeating it. And that really fucking helped. And I was just saying to her, but mate, you haven't said anything wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. It wasn't wrong though. You didn't say anything wrong. He knows it wasn't wrong. I was kind of doing it by accident because she was on a loop. She was on a loop. And at the time I was just kind of, I did know she had a personality disorder. But I was also thinking, she's had a couple of drinks. So I just kind of dealt with her when people are highly emotional when they're drunk, just was gentle. But she said in terms of that was one of the times when it wasn't the drink, it was her symptoms. So this is why I often say it doesn't take much to stop people going from having a manageable personality disorder to ending up bitter and twisted and angry and alone and fucking hurtful and frightened and lost and confused and fucking sickened and blackened and weary and tortured and all of that crap. It really is. It's simple little things. It was like another ex of mine used to refer to it as holding her shit. And I never used to get it, but I totally get it now. I've stolen it. I'm having it. Because I say it a lot now. Because I know when people can hold my shit. I've watched it happen. And I go up to the people and I hug them. I do. The last time it happened, like someone actually stood by me while I kicked off, was about 3 months ago. And I was just in calamitous, disastrous fucking offload of negative, just what's the fucking uselessness of everything, shouting and screaming and flapping my arms and tears down my face. And every suggestion was like met with me fucking punching the fucking air. I probably was quite fucking bristling. Just stayed fucking calm. Just let it happen. Because she knew she wasn't in any danger. She knew it wasn't personal. She knew she must have got similar feelings to what I got. She knew it was just the flare up, the manifestation. And because you recognize it as a symptom, it suddenly doesn't hurt you or affect you anymore. It just becomes this thing. Like if there's a fire in the corner of a room, a controlled one, you'd know it was there. You wouldn't stand too close to it, but you'd be able to manage being near it. Maybe in a room wasn't a great analogy there, but you know the kind of thing I mean, I'm sure. And you know what? As I just sort of calmed down and I felt myself coming back to it, I just fucking went up to her and went, I fucking love you. I just fucking went boom. And it was just pure fucking gratitude. It was pure fucking gratitude. It was incredibly fucking therapeutic, actually. That was the thing about it. And it's fucking hard to achieve because most people take that sort of shit personally. They think it's directed at them. And it's fucking hard to be around if you are taking it personally, or if you just are like not sure what to do. Sometimes the best thing to do is a kind of deliberate nothing and demonstrate it's nothing. Just be calm. And if they're flaring up at you, just give them a peaceful face and just, right, okay, just let it wash over you. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I did it that time just naturally. It was just in the car. I just recognised it as soon as it was just the level, it was the impact, it was the suddenness of from like bickery squabbleness to just uncontrollable rage that most people would just say you've gone batshit. Do you know what I mean? Fucking crazy. There we go again, all those words. Ape shit or batshit. So you're either feces or you have mental health issues if you shout, if you lose your temper. Like lumping them together is like it's a rock and a hard place, isn't it? You're either shit, you're either animal feces, or you're fucking crazy. But you know, it's just one of those things that popped into my head about how it was just how much I appreciated someone holding my shit. She didn't take it personally. She just let me have an offload, and that's what I loved. It was, and she was baffled. Like, what do you mean? I was like, you just let me be me. She said, you weren't shouting at me. That's simply how she saw it. I was like, You weren't shouting at me. I was shouting around her. And that's a fucking important point, because so many times I'm shouting around people and they think I'm shouting at them. And I'm not. I just really find it difficult to contain myself. I'm uncontainable. I fucking am. And it's like my uncontainability happens anyway. It happens anyway. I have to deal with it. And it's one of the things I've always said when people say, oh, God, you're just so intense. And they say it sort of quite reasonable. So I'm supposed to go, yeah, okay, yeah, I know. And I sort of think, yeah, fucking hell. So I do your head in, right, if I'm around you for an hour. But then I fuck off. A lot of the times you told me to fuck off, and I take all this shit with me, mate. If he's doing your head in, what the fuck do you think it's been doing to mine? Seriously. Seriously. That's why I get annoyed when everyone wants me to see things from their point of view and says that I don't. And so, have you ever looked at it from mine? This is fucking insane the whole time. As much as I do your head in, I'm always doing mine in. Like, I do my head in by being awake. But I just think that's the kind of shit I mean when I say about being kind. We all want to be kind to one another. That's one of the ways when when it's difficult, when it's an actual sacrifice, when it can be hard to fucking get your resolve together. Because I think that's what being kind really is. And in some ways it's a lot to ask, but in others it's really fucking not. So it's just take yourself out of the equation. So many times, if you just take yourself out of the equation and just let it happen, just be at peace with it. Just hold your hands up. Just direct the energy away from you. Ground yourself. Breathe. And it's like I say, I can't do it when all this shit kicks off internally, but I can do it for other people when it's outside me. That's why I can do the shit I do, the magical shit I do. Yeah. I was going to talk loads about numbers and spirituality, but I've used up all of my video time talking about this. But I think it's important, and I think that's the type of patience that people need, or just re-rationalising sometimes that don't automatically assume that when someone's going about something that's directed personally at you, just because they're talking to you. Because I think it makes a lot of difference.